Rob?
Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Rogues and the Batman Universe.net. We're taking a look at the DC Collectibles Trinity War box set of the DC Comics New 52, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman action figure 3-pack. I came across this just the other day at Marshall's and got a really good deal on. I shouldn't say I got a really good deal on. It's the price that they have them listed at. But you can get a lot of DC collectible stuff at Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and Ross are all owned by the same company. If you look at the lettering or the font in all of those three companies, it is very much the same style. I'm not sure who bought who or who owns who or what subsidiaries own whatever, but it's all three the same. The stickers for the price tags are printed exactly the same. It's just the different logos that appear, but the fonts are very much the same. For whatever reason, and a lot of us collectors are happy that they did, those three stores, being again TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Ross, got partnered up with DC and Marvel and Hasbro and a bunch of other toy companies and have little toy aisles or toy tables set up for various age of boys and girls, and even us older boys and girls to collect and buy things from, which normally those places are a lot of clothes and some of your higher end or more modern furniture or little gadgets or those type of stores. So upon seeing people on Facebook posting pictures of, hey, I just got a DC Collectibles action figure at Marshalls or TJ Maxx or Ross, a lot of us were like, oh really? So you've seen me review a few of them already. I had a couple Talons reviewed. There was somebody else that's escaping me right now. I also picked up another 3-pack, which I did the box portion of the review already. I haven't actually reviewed them yet. It is a 3-pack of Batman Arkham Origins, of Copperhead, Unmasked, Deathstroke, and the Red Hood Joker was escaping me for a moment. I've seen the Batman and New Bane 2-pack from Arkham there. At the Marshalls that I was at when I bought these, I saw Alan Scott, New 52 Green Lantern, Deadshot, Deathstroke, and Mad Hatter Bunny Batman. I can't remember what the name of it is. So they've got quite a few. One that I was really hoping to find was the New 52 Lex Luthor, and I heard he was going for a really good price. We see them here, the three of them, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman in the New 52 packaging, just much larger. On the back here, we got the side panel here to show you of the three of them. And the funny or odd thing about the 3-shot here, this is the standard Superman, the single-carded Superman that came out, the new sculpt Wonder Woman, and then the Batman that has remained the same, pretty much. Sculpted by Jack Matthews. Here's the other side. Instead of a silhouette, they just did a product shot of the three. Superman is painted in the metallic scheme, which was the big pull for me to get this, and I'll talk about it a little bit as the review goes along. The back of the box. So there's the Marshall's tag that you see. I paid $24.99 for it, and I think this set goes for $30 to $40, maybe even $60 if you throw, Amazon third party, or if you throw eBay on there or what have you. This was not there. This would have been a cool set to pick up. I have seen some people say they have picked up the Justice League 7-pack there. I have not come across anybody on the Facebook groups that has picked up the Heroes Villain 7-pack. I would like to get this, but I already have 3 of the figures in Black Mana, I about said Professor Zoom, Captain Cold, and I have this Batman, the chrome or metallic painted Batman. I got him loose. These two are slightly painted a little different. There's no real reason to get it The Joker, I have the normal painted version of the Joker. I would like to get this Flash because he is in the metallic. I think I could find him loose pretty easy. And this Aquaman has a new head sculpt, and gone is the chain. Catwoman is the big pull. She's the one out of this set that is just going for a crazy amount. I know I'm spending a little bit more time talking about a product here that I don't have, but I'm throwing that out there just for that. So again, there's the price tag, and if you look at your tags for TJ Maxx, Marshalls, or Ross, they're set up identical. The back of this reads at the top, says, "Capture the excitement of the Justice League comics with the special action figure 3-pack featuring the trinity of iconic heroes, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman." And of course, they're coming soon. The big draw for this is the repaint of Superman in the metallic scheme, and Wonder Woman gets a new head sculpt, and I don't believe Batman receives any paint alterations at all. I would have done a metallic paint job on Wonder Woman. The metallic paint job on Batman is being done in the 7-pack, but I would have taken it a step farther here. We'll get them out. We'll get a closer look at this 3-pack. Superman was the big draw for me, and the new sculpt of Wonder Woman, at least on her head, was also a reason that I wanted it, but Superman was a big pull for me. Okay, I've wasted the enough time here in the very beginning talking about all this stuff. Let's get the figures out of package, and let's get a closer look at the Trinity War box set from DC Collectibles. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, the Trinity is out of package. Once I saw somebody on Facebook, like I said, post that they got this at Marshall while we were in a much bigger city, looking at lights at Christmas and doing some shopping. We hit 2 different Marshalls, hoping that I was going to be able to find it. After we hit the first Marshall and a TJ Maxx, I was like, I just don't think I'm going to find it. And then the last one we went to, everything lined right up in the universe, and I was able to get these 3. Again, I was also looking for Lex, and it would have been a tough sell for me having to decide which of the 3 I was going to get, but I'm glad I didn't have to make that decision, and I was able to pick these 3 up. Superman was the one I really wanted in the set, and a lot of it was due to the fact of Stu Murray 47's review. I'm going to put that link down here below. He was just raving about this figure, and we've kind of said before, you can take a figure that normally looks pretty good on its own, and giving it a fresh coat of paint, or maybe sometimes when they do repaints that you're like, I don't know why you're repainting it just a little bit. The metallic look on Superman just really makes the figure pop, and I think he's a much better paint job. I shouldn't say paint job. The color palette is so much better on this Superman just being in the metallic. I think it worked well with the new 52 suit that Superman is wearing. Just in that nice, bright, vibrant color, but it has that nice metallic sheen to it, which makes it look really cool. And the thing that I had the Justice League 7-pack, which is the normal look for all of them. And recently I've been adding, different DC Collectibles figures to my shelves, and I have Superboy and Supergirl, and they both have some metallic paint apps to them. And the Superman that I had from the Justice League 7-pack just looked a little bit off just because of the paint that he was with the Superman family. Aquaman is also in a metallic paint in the orange, and the Green Lanterns all have metallic paint. I have the metallic painted version Batman from the Heroes 7-pack, and I was like, I really want to get Superman like that. This is the original face for Superman, as what some people denoted him as bitch face Superman. I'm trying to remember if it was Chapman Films or if it was Stu Murray 47 or some other reviewer out there when I was first watching some of these reviews of this single-carded Superman figure with being labeled bitch face Superman. And it kind of is. It has the Jim Lee little smirk that he gave him. I'm really torn. The Superman that I have, and I'll bring him up here in a little bit when I do the comparisons, he has the slicked back hair, and I've really grown to like it. I'm really thinking about swapping that head out with this one and having the slicked back hair, since that's going to be the primary Superman that I'm going to have on my shelf. And I'll put the other one with one of the other 4 Batmen that I have, and I'll get into that in just a second with Batman. But this is the look of Superman. This is not going to be, hey, let's take a look at the articulation. We've seen the articulation on these guys already. Nothing has changed in that department. This is kind of like phase 1 for DC Collectibles. I love the black S. Some people miss the gold S. There's just something cool about the black S that I like in the New 52. Again, Superman, depending on what book you're reading, does not look like this anymore, which kind of bums me out, but that's why I'm reading a Superman book, or Justice League book, where Superman looks like this still. I love the New 52 costume. At first, some people they didn't kind of like it, but this really grew on me really fast. I do have a couple paint blemishes on Superman here. In the S, there's a blob of paint right there, but just didn't get smoothed out. So that's something that Stu Murray 47 always says. He wants the S to be in pristine condition. This is close. Everything's painted very well. What I really like is the black that is in the panel lines. So I don't know if it's a black base that's shown through. I doubt somebody painted in there. I guess they could have. But it really, really makes the panel lines just pop on this figure. In case you can't tell, I'm probably going to spend a little bit more time on Superman. You wouldn't think it with my channel. He does appear to have a wart right here. That's rather kind of nasty. Which I also think that is going to be the reason why I'm going to switch out, as we're looking at Wonder Woman's crotch. I apologize. As I moved him off frame. That's bad. It's got this massive wart coming out of the side of his neck. I just love the suit and painted body of this Superman, but to have him on my shelf, like I'm always going to see it, even though he's going to be kind of standing like this. And the Superman does appear to have a little bit of a cross eye going here with this eye. So he's not quite... I like the head sculpt a lot, but like I said, I've grown more accustomed to the other one. So I'll do a head swap here pretty quickly, and we'll get wart bitch face Superman out of the way. So that's a look at Superman here. Let's bring Wonder Woman up, and the comparison for Wonder Woman I think will be a little bit better if we can get Superman to stand here. Her head sculpt is completely new. Her eyes, I thought they were crossed at first. Her eyes look pretty good. Her face looks a lot better on this one. Now, some people had said they actually preferred the other one, the original release, a little bit better. I kind of had a problem with her face. I think if I go back to my initial review of that figure. And she does have some metallic in her underoos, as it were, and in her boots. She does have a little bit of metallic in there. I mean, Batman does too with his belt, but I would have liked to have seen a red bustier, I guess, if you want to call it, for Wonder Woman. I think that would have made the figure pop just a little bit more. I've always liked this Wonder Woman. The hair, they're getting... nowadays, they're getting so much better with the hair. This is the first round of the softer hair. The original Wonder Woman had such a thick mane of hair, and it was a real hard plastic that my Wonder Woman could not turn her head hardly at all. So this is another reason why I was really wanting this set. I just think this one is a little bit more effeminate look. She looks more female-ish in the face, as she should. The other one, I think you'll see when I bring her up here, looked a little bit mannish. Batman, I'm not going to spend too much time with, just because I believe he is exactly the same. They did nothing different to this Batman whatsoever, which is kind of a shame that they repainted Superman, resculpted Wonder Woman. I would have thought you would have done something different to Batman. Now, one could argue this Batman was already great. There's nothing they needed to improve on, and maybe that's the case. But giving us a 3-pack of figures that we probably already have Don't you want to do a little tweak here or there to Batman? That's where I wish he was painted the metallic version that I'm going to bring up here. So what I'm going to do, we'll start with Batman, and we'll work our way back down to the Trinity. This review is going to be a little bit longer. I apologize, but there's enough different things on all of these guys I kind of want to share and look at. So we'll start with Batman and work our way to Superman. We'll be right back. Grab a sandwich and a drink. We're going to be here for a little bit. Okay, can you tell me which is which Batman? Which is the Justice League 7-pack Batman? Which is the Marshall's Batman, or the Trinity Batman? And which is the single-carded Batman? Well, we already know this one is the Trinity, because I have it, I usually put the one I'm reviewing in the middle. This is the Justice League 7-pack Batman, and this is the the single-carded Batman. There is zero difference between these three figures. Zero. That is sometimes the bad thing about when they repackage figures. They'll give you throwaway figures. I at least want to repaint. I want to vary it to make it worth my money. I've looked all three of these over with a fine-tooth comb, and I cannot find a single difference, not a single fold, a panel lying out of place, a hand that's closed, open, two fit, nothing. So it's kind of sad. I'm sitting here with 3 Batman, actually 4 Batman. I haven't brought him up. The stage is a little bit full here. We'll bring up the metallic version in just a second. I've been toying with the idea of just giving them away on my channel as prizes, or if I send stuff out. Most people that I know have this Batman, so I'm kind of throwing it out there. There's no need why I need 3 of the exact same figure. I have the single-carded Batman. Of course, when I bought him, of a single-carded Batman, I got him for myself, and I didn't realize my wife was going to buy me the Justice League 7-pack, which I am very grateful for, because I got all the rest of the Justice League. So that meant I had 2 of them. No big deal. Last year I had some Christmas money. I found a loose Batman that was repainted, so I thought, okay, cool. Well, I've got 3 Batman. That's not too bad. And then I buy the Trinity set. Now I have 4. So I have since put him back in his single-carded box, just kind of waiting if I come across somebody that says, hey, I don't have, Batman. And I can be like, well, you want to trade or whatever. I don't know what I'm going to do. So if there's somebody out there that's like, well, I would take a Batman, let me know. This Batman right here, the Justice League 7-pack, I do have him on another shelf with some of my other DC collectibles, kind of going through the line and history of Batman. This Batman from, I'm probably going on really long here, but this is some of the debate and debacle that we have, as action figure collectors. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with this Batman. I may put him back in the box. I may take off the head off this one and put it on the Capullo series Thrasher Batman. So I've got a cowled version of Batman in there. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do. So I at least have one that I'm going to possibly trade or sell or give away, and maybe 2. So we'll see. I'll bring up the metallic version Batman with the Trinity set, and we'll take a look at the 2 side by side. And here's the Heroes versus Batman, about what it said. Sometimes it is that way. The Heroes versus Villains 7-pack Batman in his metallic paint scheme. I like this one over this Batman. The only thing I would have done, I think I said it when I reviewed him or talked about him, I would have given him his normal color schemed belt, but I kind of like the darker orangish version of the belt. It's not so bright and in your face as this one is. I think it's more suited to Batman's look. So the one I have with all of my Justice League characters and standing with my Bat family in the New 52 is this Batman. This particular Batman, or one of the 3 other versions that I have of him, like I said, is standing on a different shelf where I have kind of like a DC Direct, DC Collectibles, kind of like timeline Batman set. So I know I'm spending a lot of time on 3 of these figures, But again, if you need to pause this, go grab another sandwich or a chicken wing or something, do so. We'll move on to Wonder Woman. Now, it's been a little bit since I've been, up and close and personal. That probably sounds bad. With my Justice League 7-pack Wonder Woman, which is pretty much the same as the carded Wonder Woman. This sword, for people who are wondering, came from Hawk Girl. Can I say that right? The Hawk Girl DC UC figure. She's supposed to come with a sword as a single carded figure, but in the sets that she's been put in with, Katana, I believe she was in a set with, and then the Trinity, and then the Justice League set, they left the sword out, which I think is really kind of odd. The heads on the two are vastly different. I was saying that the other one was mannish. I kind of take that back. It's not too bad. I think it was the hair that people didn't quite like. This one appears to be a little cross-eyed. The standard release Wonder Woman. I think I might have said that before. You can kind of see her left eye is looking in. The Trinity War set, not so much. And I gotta tell you, this looks very Gal Gadot-ish. I know that's not the case, but just from what we've seen of Gal Gadot, which of the two am I going to pose? It's going to be this one. I like the hair a lot better. Like I was saying here, now there's a lot of blue highlights in the original release Wonder Woman. And I think that was another point that people were like, whoa, we went a little crazy with the blue. She does appear to have the wart as well off to the side, which is always a bummer when that happens. I never noticed it so much with the way I had her posed, and her hair always cast a shadow. You don't see the tiara very well depending on the light that it is, but it was the blue contrast in the hair that people kind of scoffed at a little bit. So what I'm actually going to do here, I'm going to pull the sword out of her hand. Let's just get her right in the exact same pose that I had her in on my shelf. And I was glad that I could get a sword, and I had the Hawk Girl. I didn't check to see if she had any warts. No warts anywhere on Wonder Woman. Little right there. And I thought this one had earrings. No, it doesn't appear to. They did sculpt her ears back there. So yeah, this is going to be the Wonder Woman from the Trinity set that is on my shelf, and her eyes look really good. They look straight. I just like her face a little bit better here. So we'll set her here. And then what we'll do, we'll bring up Superman, the Man of Steel. I just like this figure a lot. I already kind of showed kind of up and close on this figure. So what we'll do right now, we'll just bring up the Justice League 7-pack Superman. You can kind of see in the looks of the suits of the two. There's just something, now I shouldn't say odd, because I mean I do like this one, but there's just something different. The panel lines don't pop as well, and it looks a little off. This is the way that I think it should have been. I love this head sculpt. I guess I'm in the Batman versus Superman mode. Very Henry Calvish. Man, I can't talk today. I just like the hair rather than having the wispy hair. He doesn't have bitch face Superman. This kind of looks like angry, more serious face Superman, but a cleaner head sculpt. Just a dumb luck on the figure that I got from Marshall's, the Trinity War Superman. But like I said, that wart now, I can't unsee that. So I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to swap heads, and probably what I'm going to do, since I have now a second Wonder Woman and 4 Batmans, I'll probably set up the Trinity somewhere else in my room to just have Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman standing, and this will be the head that I'll have on this body back here. So tell you what, let's do a quick head swap, and we'll see if I'm really going to be happy with the head swap. And here are the figures now with the head swap, and I do very much like them now that I've swapped their heads. I think this is probably how they should have been initially, and I think I'm on the side of I prefer this head sculpt over this one. I even showed my wife what I was doing. I swapped their heads. She's like, this one looks a little too young, which I think that's what a lot of people were saying. They drew him just a little too young. I know they were trying to de-age them a little bit in the New 52. But I think just getting rid of the smirk and having the more traditional Superman hair and kind of having a little more slicked back does make him look a little bit more regal, a little bit more like the Superman that we know and love. So I'm really glad to have this particular Superman. I think Stu Murray in his review was just kind of raving about the suit, and I believe he has multiple versions of both of these. He's got this head with this body, obviously, and he has this head with this body, and then the normal. So I think he's got 3 or 4 different versions of all the different variations that he possibly could have of these particular Supermen. So what I'd like to do is bring up Superman and his family, and we'll see how the metallic suit looks against their metallic suits. And here they are. They look really good together. Now, Supergirl's suit is more in the line with this particular Superman. It's really light in the blue, but in her Underoos region is metallic. Her S is metallic. Her boots are metallic. Superboy's red panel lines are metallic. It would have been really cool for them to do this blue metallic paint on the Supergirl. That would have been a really, really cool look to that figure, but they all 3 look really good together. And if this is the only one you have, this is the one I had for a long time, so he looked just as good, but I'm so glad to have this. Let's see what he and Batman look like together, the metallic painted version. And the metallic paint scheme, Batman and Superman obviously look really, really good together. Now, like I said, Aquaman, all the Green Lanterns, Green Arrow has some metallic paint on him that I currently have. So what I would like to do is get the metallic version of the Flash, at least if I don't get the new sculpted version of Aquaman, to kind of have the main core of the Justice League all in their metallic paint schemes. I think would look really, really cool. Batman, you can't ever face forward in a photo. So here are all 3 of them together, the versions of them that are going to be on my shelf together. I know this is not the final end product shot of the Trinity War set, but this is the version that I'm going to have with the swapped head and then with the metallic version of the Heroes versus Villains 7-pack Batman. I think this is a really good set if you picked up the Trinity War set, and even if you didn't have the heads to swap out or this particular Batman, it's a really cool set if you were on the fence, and especially with Batman versus Superman being just a few months out yet. I think the excitement for these 3 characters is only going to grow, and I was really kind of surprised that I was able to find them on the shelf after the trailer hit. So today we've been taking a look at the Trinity War set by DC Collectibles, and you could pick up quite a few different DC Collectibles figures from the main DC Comics line and also into the Batman Arkham games at Marshall's, Ross, and TJ Maxx. So go check them out, and they're at a much lower price than they were when they were originally released, pardon me. So that's always a great thing for us collectors, getting figures really cheap. So we'll see you guys. As always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues and the Batman Universe signing off, saying we will see you guys next time.